Stab your weapon up. Stab your weapon up. Stab your weapon up. It's G-I-J.
Oh my gosh, girl. Good job. What is up and what is cracking, everybody?
What's happening, y'all?
What's going on, people?
It is happening, y'all. Welcome to Level Up with Gina J, episode 13, we said, right? I think it's 13.
It might be 13.
It might be 13.
I can't.
Might have to double check that one.
Yeah.
But welcome, y'all, to the show. We got a great one today, y'all. We have one of our guests who we've known. Another one we've known for a couple decades now.
One of our best friends.
Yeah, man. Mr. Kendell Richardson, a.k.a.
Black, a.k.a. Blackie,
a.k.a. Ashy Knuckles.
I put lotion on for the episode today, though.
Not the Amistad hands today, yo.
Great friend of ours. We've done vacations together.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've kicked up plenty of dust together.
Yep. I stood in your guys' weddings.
Yeah,
You guys
stood in
up
yours.
my wedding. Yes, sir.
Absolutely,
yes, sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
We had all of our kids are close to age, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. So, Black, welcome, bro. Thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
It's great. And
Glad to be a part of it.
today's segment, y'all, is going to be an interesting one. We're actually just going to kind of keep it a little lighter, right? Because we got some big events that's happening soon in October, right, Gene?
Yep. October 1st.
We got Shout Out Loud that throwing their big events. So we have
suicide prevention and awareness, which is huge because a lot of people are dealing with mental health issues.
Yep.
Shout out to Laura Dyson and Brittany Center for that.
Absolutely, y'all.
Yep.
What's big about that is we're going to have a couple big episodes after this. So we'll have like something revolving around addiction, right? And then we're probably going to have one that deals with mental health, kind of leaning into the event that's going to happen in October. So today...
hold on. Before we get to that, also, we want to announce that we are now on Spotify.
Yes!
And also, what else?
And Apple Podcasts, y'all.
Yay! Cheers.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Man, got these short-ass arms. Yes, we just went live with that, y'all, last week. So that's a huge accomplishment. I know a lot of people are like, well, y'all have a podcast. Why did it take y'all so long to do that? Well, we're a video podcast first, and that's what we mainly focused on, right?
True. So one thing we have to kind of focus on is we got to realize that certain people are just listening. So if there's things that we're doing or showing, we got to kind of describe to the listeners like what's going on.
Absolutely.
That's kind of a trip.
It's a really good point, dude. I totally forgot about that in some of our episodes.
Because our old ones were expecting people to watch it.
Yep. So be sure to watch. And right now, while y'all are watching this video, please go on to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Level Up with Gina J, LUPWGJ. So today's segment, y'all, is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to be diving into the food and beverage industry,
Restaurants,
Industry.
And Kendall's here today to kind of give us his perspective on a few things and everything. So I think just to crack it off, I want to, go ahead.
I was going to say, first and foremost, you're in the restaurant industry right now.
Yeah.
Where do you work at?
I currently bartend at a steakhouse.
At Steakhouse?
Yeah.
And I'm currently a bartender at the Yard House.
Nice.
People know that.
And right now it's summer and I'm out of work, so I currently work at my house. So since we all have houses.
Are you jobless?
Technically, I'm out of my contract now before school starts, so right now I'm mooching.
But you have worked.
My wife's my sugar mama right now.
You have worked in the restaurant industry.
I have.
So
and we'll definitely get to that too. So so like Kendall, I guess, because it's a lot for y'all especially. But Kendall, why don't you crack off and tell us a little bit, like, when did you start? Because me and you go way back when it came to Bunny's, right? Bunny's Bar and Grill, bro. And what did you do when you first started there?
Well, the very first restaurant that I worked at was an Italian restaurant called Bacio. That was the very first one. I think I was 22 or something like that.
That was the spot by Ridgedale, right?
Yeah.
Bacio.
Remember that
with
spot?
them expensive ass drinks they had, bro? Oh, they were tripping.
It was a fancy Italian restaurant, you know what I mean?
I guess I'm just cheap all over. I'm just cheap.
You know, it wasn't like Bunny's. Shout out to Bunny's, too. Gary Rackner.
Right.
Oh, we love Bunny's. The rack attack's great.
All right. Yeah, so that was my first restaurant job, and I just started out hosting there, and then eventually I got behind the bar, and I was bar backing.
Okay.
And then I just kind of branched out from there, and then worked a bunch of odd and end restaurant jobs.
So you did do Bacho before Bunnies, huh?
I did, yeah.
So how'd Bunnies come around?
A friend of mine who was a long time worker there that had worked at the restaurant for a long time. I was just looking for a job at the time, and she suggested that I come in there and fill out an application. And I remember filling out an application once and then not hearing anything back, and then I was just bopping around other different jobs. And then I tried back like 6 months later, and then I got an interview with the owners. And then,
Can we back it up a little?
Yeah.
You said you started out at Bacho being, what?
As a host.
As a host.
Yeah.
How was it being a host, man? The hostess with the mostest.
It was cool, because I got the dress kind of fly,
So did you wear all black like Johnny Cash? Or
No, you could
Looking
wear
like a shadow and shit.
You could wear. you could wear basically whatever you wanted, as long as it wasn't like you couldn't wear jeans or anything like that. But you had to wear nice shoes, slacks, and a nice shirt.
Right.
So that part was fun, but it was I was always kind of an introvert growing up, so that was a culture shock for me, because when I would walk people to tables, I would just kind of turn around and just.
You wouldn't say much?
I'd just be like, all right, this way.
Right. No conversation at all.
Boom. And so the managers there and like the lead host would get on me about like talking to people, like people want to talk to you. So
you got to talk
to
on
people.
the way and shit to the table.
So that was a learning experience.
Right.
And, that's what kind of got my feet wet with like just being a more like talkative person with people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because like what I do now, you have to talk all the time.
Right.
So
right.
Like, I feel like I have the gift of gab now for the most part.
So I started off as a busser.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a job. My brother was already a bartender. And he was like, man, you should get in the restaurant industry. It's quick, easy money, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I'm not really into talking to people like that. You know what I mean? So I ended up looking into it anyways, man. And I started off as a busser. And I think it took me like two months, you know what I mean? And they're like, you want to start hosting? And I'm like, yeah.
Actually, we got to back it up.
Oh,
because
snap.
remember, you originally started at Bunnies in the back.
I did. So
as the dishwasher.
I was the dishwasher at Bunnies.
Yes, dude.
I think for like a week or two.
Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't last too long.
Did you walk out?
No,
I think you just did your shit.
So what
and you were
happened
done.
was I ended up getting a call from Granite City.
Okay.
And
that's right.
They wanted to hire me as a busser.
Yeah.
And like, I got to give mad respect to dishwashers, man, because that's hard work.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You're
done that before,
sweating
I
profusely.
mean, it sucks washing dishes at the crib, bro, but constant.
Oh man, like they're kind
job.
of the backbone of the restaurant industry.
Oh, they really are. They really are.
Absolutely.
The back of the house always makes the front of the house look better.
Exactly.
Or worse, depending on the restaurant.
On the day.
Yeah.
So when you went at Bacho, were you just a host there the whole time, and before you moved over to Bunnies?
No, I hosted there, and then I barred back there too.
Okay.
So that was like my first experience, just like being behind the bar and like learning about all the different alcohols and then like all the different wines.
Right.
Because like that was not something I was well versed in at all.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how and then I ended up at Bunnies, and then I started out hosting there as well.
That's when I slid along. That's when I became a host there, too.
Yeah, then you started hosting there with me. Fun times.
Yeah, they had the mic there. That was a problem for them. I mean, we don't put a mic in front of Jay in black, man. We gonna fuck with it for sure, dude.
One time, a guy paid me $100 to call a friend of his a fat ass over the loudspeaker.
By name and everything?
Yes.
Damn.
And I did that. Sorry, Gary. I did.
Got that $20.
I did that.
Was that individual angry?
Nah, they were like all golf buddies or something. It was a big joke.
So that was everybody easy laughed. Money.
Easiest $100 I ever made in my life, probably.
Yeah.
Easiest $100 for a few words.
So then you started to climb and started serving, you said.
Yeah, then I started serving there. And then I bar backed, and then a manager position became open, and then they wanted me to interview for the position.
Yeah, because once you were in the door with Bunnies, I was in there. You were in there, bro.
You know, but I worked hard, and people liked me. You know, I was, like I said, I had the gift of gab. You know, I knew how to talk to people, and I knew how to treat people. So that's what propelled me further than anything. Like, I still, even at that time when I started, I had like very little knowledge about like the restaurant industry or like the ins and outs of like working at a restaurant or managing a restaurant at that point. But you know, they saw something in me, and they wanted me to apply for the managing job, which I did. I dressed up and they interviewed me formally, and I ended up missing out on the job because I had never bartended before.
So you had to get that under your belt.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, can you guys train me on how to bartend? And they're like, yeah, no problem. You're doing everything else good. There you go. And so then I started bartending, and you know, a year later, that managing job came around again, and I got it that time. And
so you've done everything in the front of the house, and then on top of that, you've been in the back of the house.
Yeah, I actually went to cooking school in between my years of bacho and right as I started going to Bunnies.
Where'd you go?
I went to Le Cordon Bleu.
Le Cordon Bleu.
You still paying them joints off, man?
Nah,
man. You done paid that off already, man?
I've been done with them for a few years.
Fucking Sally Mae, bro. Sally Mae, man.
No more debt, guys.
Gangster chick.
We're not going to get back into what happened to Minnesota.
Yeah, we're not going to backtrack on that joint.
I've never met a chick like Sally Mae ever in my life.
Yo. Only chick you know that will take your money and you never seen her before and stuff. Like, how's that even work?
Robbed me blind.
Worst escort ever. I'm just kidding.
So then after you finished, you started working in the back of the house?
I worked at a restaurant. My first cooking job was at a Creole restaurant in Uptown. It was called Antoine's Creole Maison. And I was basically, her head cook had walked out on her. It was a very small restaurant, very small kitchen. And so I basically got thrown on, and like I was the guy there.
I remember you had your own set of knives and shit.
Oh, I do remember that.
You came with a fancy set of knives.
I still got knives. What you mean?
Are they sharp or dull?
I keep a knife stone, sir. I keep my shit nice and sharp, sir.
So, looking back at it all, man, what's your favorite spot in the restaurant industry?
Well, because I was gonna ask, like, so how many like spots have you had? So we got like what? I was gonna say Barcelona, Bacho, then Bunnies, and then what else? Where else have you been?
I bartended downtown at JD Hoyt's Supper Club for
they got some good
5
food,
years
man.
or so. Shout out to Pat Montague down there at JD Hoyt's.
Pat. Y'all call him Project Pat?
Nah,
Patty Cake.
We just call him Pat. Some people call him Patty Cake. He was a good dude. They got a great restaurant too.
Okay, and then
I worked at Redstone briefly.
Yep. I remember that one.
Ridgedale?
No, I worked at the Eden Prairie location.
Is that the one with the fireplace?
Yeah. I still have nightmares about that place.
Yeah.
It was one of the worst.
I heard it's a cougar mill. Cougar mill.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So
like you're talking about
place.
like maybe the intensity.
Yeah, it was a corporate restaurant. You know what I mean? Like a lot of business people did lunches there and like dinners there.
Yeah,
and they did like monthly shops.
Right.
And if you didn't pass a shop or get 100%, like.
You might lose some hours or something.
I mean, you would lose money, and then like the money pool would go down because if people are nailing it, it keeps going up. And then if you're the person to fail it, like me, then it drops down, and then everybody like shames you about the shit. You know what I mean?
So like one of our inspirations for this episode itself, y'all, not only was to have Black on the show and like get his experience and knowing that Gene's been in the restaurant industry as well. We a lot of y'all have heard about the show The Bear.
The Bear.
The Bear.
My God, that's a real good.
So
I love it.
As I'm gonna ask both of y'all too, as people in the restaurant industry, what do you think as far as accuracy goes? Y'all are only a couple episodes in, right?
Yes, I'm only 2 episodes in.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And I've never worked in the back of the house, but I've always seen the back of the house. And it's fun, like to watch. They'd be like, behind you, or need hands, or
heard.
That's terminology we use in the restaurant industry.
And the bear is about a young man who inherits his brother who passed away, his restaurant, and he tries to revive it, trying to bring it back to life by using his culinary skills that he learned in like New York or like Italy or some crazy stuff. I forgot. So it's a great show to kind of look at, and like you really feel like the intensity behind the kitchen and all that stuff. So you would say that is pretty accurate?
It's very accurate. And I forget the actor's name, Lip from...
we just call him Lip.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know his ass.
Lip is such a good actor, man. And I feel like he does more acting like with his facial expressions than like anything, because there's that one scene.
I don't know if it's because he's just so funny looking or what.
I don't know. I bet you he does all right.
He's an amazing actor.
I bet you he does all right. But towards the end of episode 1, when he's in the kitchen and his knife is on the floor, like things are going crazy for him. I have moments like that, several times a week at work.
Yes.
So I can empathize with that, and like that really like hit home for me.
Okay.
So although I don't work in the back of the house, it's the same in the front of the house. Like
when it's madness.
Yeah, like if you're on the service well, and what the service well is you make the drinks for the whole restaurant.
For all the servers in the restaurant.
For everybody drinking in the restaurant, you're making those drinks, man, and it's just as hectic. So I could feel it.
Oh, it's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like you're dealing with a lot, man,
and then back there, you're working around hot flames and hot stoves and the ovens and fryers.
Were you always sweating?
I'm not a really sweaty person, so I guess I didn't really deal with
that. I did. I'm sweating right now. And it's damn near fall and shit.
Like 69 degrees.
Ooh, Lord Jesus.
Call me 69.
So I got to ask then, because we'll go deeper into that for sure. But now that we know, like, so you've been what's your favorite then? Like Gene was saying, do you prefer sports bars or do you prefer restaurants then?
I mean, I think they could be lucrative on both ends. I don't think that I don't think that one is necessarily better than the other. It's just a personal preference. With the sports bars, you have to deal with like the late nights and then like rowdy crowds.
Yeah.
At times, especially on football Sunday, so much fuckery.
Oh gosh, that's one of the reasons I quit.
But then at the same. But then
that and the regulars, but we'll get into that.
At the steakhouse, you still have regulars there.
Yeah.
But these are different kinds of.
So they're not cheap assholes;
people.
They're rich assholes.
Yeah, exactly. They're not broke assholes. They're rich. They're rich assholes.
So can you tell us the difference?
Can't you see we're doing a podcast
Seriously, nice moped.
Jeez.
Dude, everybody has a moped in this neighborhood. Dude.
Really?
Every time I smoke a cigarette, there's like 3 mopeds driving by.
No one's honked at you yet? That's rude. You have to honk if you got a moped. It's not like they can't see you. You know what I mean? You got to be friendly.
Dude, I'm not going to be on a moped unless I'm in the Bahamas.
Or Italy
on
the
Rico,
Vespa or some shit like that.
So when you talked about lucrative, this is something that I can definitely probably ask both of y'all too. So would y'all say that restaurant, for those that haven't worked in a restaurant before and would like to get into it, is it considered can it be lucrative?
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you have great health care? No.
No.
Do you have a great 401k plan?
Not at all. Not at all.
But are you making quick, easy money and hanging out with fun people?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Got you.
Definitely.
And I think, is it the fast money that's most important, right? Like, I used to love that when I did serve, you got paid every damn day.
That is great, but I really enjoy the fact that, I'm not in a cubicle. I'm not sitting here typing numbers, doing this or that. I'm chopping it up, kicking it with fun people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For the most part.
For the most part. Yeah. That is a lot of
So when it's lucrative, then it really is based not just on you being in your position, like just because you're a bartender, that doesn't mean you're going to be great bartenders, right? Like being lucrative really is based on who you are as a person. Would you agree? Or
well, that and then like the people you got around you too, because like it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
When I managed, like I served and bartended at Bunny's long before I managed there, you know. But when I was managing, I was there to help the employees make money. So I was doing everything I can to help them make money. Because you know,
that your number one goal is like I'm trying to make
my number one goal every
guests
shift,
happy,
and make my employees money.
Right,
you know, and I want to keep my employees happy too, because if they're happy, everything goes smoother.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
You have managers and people that don't. They think just because they're managers that they are exempt from doing things like running food or hopping behind the bar and, you know, helping make drinks or, you know, bussing tables and stuff like that. But like that's the stuff that like makes a good manager. And shout out again to Gary, because I had the privilege of learning under that guy, and he's the best. I've known a lot of restaurant owners. I've met a lot of different people in the industry, and Gary is like hands down the most hands-on and like genuine guy in the industry.
He was like a celebrity when he would enter him and Steve, man. They come walking in
as well.
Gary's
Steve as well.
Very personable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, when I see him, he comes talks to me. Hey, we talk.
Yeah, he asks you questions.
Yeah, he asks me, like, he doesn't just do the normal chop it up stuff.
Yeah, and actually he does listen to you and like hears you what you're saying and stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Gary's a great guy. So
I mean, big shout out to him and Steve, because they really started to go diverse when you really kind of kicked the barrier open for that, didn't you?
Well,
you and Osborne?
I don't think that there were any other like black employees there.
So,
I mean, there definitely weren't any black employees there when
but
I
let's
worked
make sure we are clear, America. You made history though, right? Because you were the first black manager of Bunny's.
I mean, I don't know if that's actual factual.
We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that.
I'll have to check with Jason Rackner and Gary on that.
It's better for the ratings.
But we're gonna go with
The awesome thing about Bunny's, man, is they keep brothers and sisters up in there.
They keep it diverse, and I like that, man.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
and they never go that deep into like background checks and all. They judge you for that interview right there.
They interview you,
either you nail it or you don't.
And, you know, they don't get it right all the time, but like we don't as humans anyway. You know what I mean? They've hired some people, and it's, you know, a couple months later, like, oh shit, like, well, that guy's out of here. Or that gal's out of here. But that's just the nature of the business, because
fool me once.
There's a lot of turnover in the restaurant industry as well.
True that.
If you're not built for it, you're just not built for it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So like, let's see. As far we talked about lucrative and all that, so let's talk a little bit about hours. So I know, like for me, working at a school, I'm 8:45 to 4. Monday through Friday, I got weekends off plus holidays and stuff. And I know from experience in the industry that shit don't really. That's not really a thing,
it's
right?
It's weird,
like,
man, because like if it's slow, you might only work 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, depending on where you're working at. Yeah.
But if it's all as well, you might work 8 hours.
Yeah. 10 hours if you're like the closer.
10 hours.
Yeah. 10 hours? Oh, yeah, if you do doubles and stuff like that. I hated doubles, man.
Oh, the dreaded cloping.
Ugh. You got that small window before you got to clock back in and stuff, man. Okay, so, but
sometimes you had to grind to do that, though.
Yeah.
You know, you took off a bunch of days from work because, you know, in this industry, we don't get no PTO.
You got to balance that shit out,
or nothing like that. So you're like, you know, I took 6 days off work. Shit, I got to work 4 doubles in a row.
Right.
And then have off a day and then work 2 more doubles or some shit like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What are your...
go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
What are your thoughts on, like, drinking with folks in the restaurant industry?
What do you mean? Like, like afterwards?
Do you think we drink more than your average citizen?
Totally. Yeah. 100%.
Well, can you elaborate on that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's... I feel like it's just part of the culture.
It is, indeed.
It's part of the restaurant culture, you know? You're going to have those coworkers that like to have libations after work.
Yeah.
Hell, I've known people that like to do it during work. I ain't saying no names because I'm not trying to ruin nobody.
But it's kind of like the drug game, too, though, because they give you a free one. You know what I'm saying? Let you get your lips wet. And next thing you know, you spend it all you made that night. And shit.
Yeah, they stopped doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got
after COVID, man, things got real.
What?
They got rid of shifties long before COVID though at Bunny's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they was like,
maybe that's why I left. You didn't give me no free booze.
You left long before that.
Peace.
Out of here.
Yeah, I remember when I was stressed out there one time, and when you were managing, and you were like, you came up and you were best friends. Where you're like, Jay, are you good? Like, is everything going? Your tables are waiting for. I'm like, I can't take this shit no more, dog. Fuck this place. I like was getting ready to walk out,
like,
bro.
I feel like they disrespect me. I'm like, well, they probably are, but you know,
dude, there's
you gotta
nothing I
it.
hated with that.
So Kendall, we know at Bunny's, like, they're very good at hiring black folks there and shit. But how about the other jobs you've worked at, man? Are you usually the token black guy, or are there other black folks there also?
I don't know. It's usually me. Maybe there's one other person. I know when I worked at Hoyt's, I was the only black person in the building at all. Like, there were no black kitchen.
I remember that you weren't hard to find when I walked in there. I just looked around.
Bing, there he is.
How does that make
tall Negro?
How does that make you feel, man? Like,
I mean, there's a sense
you just
of like
get used to it eventually.
Yeah,
right?
you get used to it.
Yeah,
you get used to it. I mean, there's a sense of like pride that comes with it, I guess. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, yeah, I'm in here, and y'all didn't think I could be in here doing this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, do you ever find as being a black bartender, people treat you like you're not a bartender? Like, has anybody ever been to you like, hey, are you allowed to make me a drink?
Yeah, very seldomly for me.
Yeah,
but I've heard stories of that.
I have that shit happen to me so much, and it just it blows my mind.
Yeah,
I remember one time I'm at JD Hoyt's and I'm shaking a martini, and this lady's like, "Excuse me, are you allowed to make me a drink?" And I'm looking at her like,
what'd you say?
"Are you serious right now?" I'm actually like,
so she assumed like you were a bar back or something.
Basically,
yeah.
And I'm like, "You think I'm back here in this white shirt and tie just shaking martinis, but I can't make you a drink?"
Do you think that was maybe based on race, or do you think maybe like because they're so used to like certain bartenders and they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Or a little bit of both.
It could be a combination of both, but I've always taken it as like a race thing. Not always like negatively. You know what I'm saying? Some white people just get uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And like things just come out of their mouths too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is
in the industry. Do y'all feel like you don't get the same respect as your white coworkers at all?
Yeah. I don't feel like I do.
You want to elaborate?
I don't know. I feel like, again, I'm not saying that everybody is racist, but I just feel like there's always like underlying like racist tones to things. People always speak to me different.
With guests or your coworkers?
Guests, coworkers, customers.
Right.
Like everybody. It always bothers me when you get the white guy that's like brother, or they give you the brother, or they'll say something that's like
condescending and
not condescending, like they're trying to connect with you, but like they're talking to you like how they think black people talk.
That's the worst,
and that shit bugs me.
And we could just say it right now, like white folks, if any of our white allies are watching this and you do it, or you know you're someone you do, like just stop.
Don't be that person. Just treat us like you would treat anybody else. You don't have to be like, what's going on, brother? Yeah, you can be like, "How you doing today, Kendall?" And that works just fine.
How do you deal with that when that happens?
I always laugh it off, man.
You don't say nothing; you just kind of laugh it off.
I mean, it all depends on. It's always a situational circumstance, right? You know what I mean? Like, if they don't, I don't think that people always mean stuff by it. But then there's other times where you can't just let somebody slide.
Yeah,
like I had a coworker call me Patio Boy the other day.
Patio Boy.
Because I had Patio Boy.
Damn.
Yeah, because
you just never say boy to any black person.
And I looked at him like I don't know where you're from. You think it's okay to just call people boy? Like I'm a 41-year-old man, and like you're 32. Like, don't do that. Like what we're not gonna do is call me boy. Like that's rude. You don't do that shit.
Yeah.
And then like he was kind of offended by it. You know what I mean? Like that I took that stance.
Did he pull up my best friend's black?
Nah, he's not that stupid.
My best
Well,
friend's
well,
black.
while we're on like customers, kind of right. So let's break it down for those that aren't in like the restaurant industry. Could both of y'all kind of help elaborate? Like, what is technically a regular? What's a regular?
Somebody that comes several times a week. Doesn't
Okay.
mean they tip good. They
Right.
might tip like shit.
Most of the time, they spend the exact same amount of money on the
Yep.
exact same
They're
thing
getting
every single
3
time.
beers. You know you don't even know their name, but you know exactly what they drank.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's how I remember people is basically by what they drink.
Yeah. I've
And they
had
could've
people
told
show
me
up
their name.
8 years later.
Yeah.
And I don't know his name, but I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
He's like, how'd you remember that?
There used to be this one dude who would come in and he would order tequila cokes,
Ooh, shit. That's different.
like real tequila and coke, bro.
Ugh.
Gross.
That's like, might as well just go to Bennigan's.
He was a very odd person. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But he'd give me, it'd be like $4.26 or whatever it was, and he'd just leave the $5 bill every single time.
So that
But
was-
he never caused me any trouble. You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't
Right.
mean, he wasn't rude. It was just
So do
It is
y'all
what it
do you feel like your regulars do treat you good, or is it 50-50? Like some of your regulars treat you really well, and some regulars are just like you said, come and order the same shit, tip the same amount of money every time, no different.
well, I don't know. I guess I live more by like vibes. I guess if people are fun,
Yeah.
and they have a good attitude and like a good
Right.
disposition, I don't have any problem. Sitting and riffing with somebody for a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like I diagnose a situation very quick. Within like 10 seconds of greeting the guest, I'm like, okay, well, I already know how this is gonna go, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
true.
adjust how I'm acting, and
Yeah.
I'm
Grab
gonna.
his home. You got a little hair on your
Oh,
chin
shit.
chin.
You sure it's not just a gray? I'm a chin.
There you go. You got it.
All right. So yeah, I always adjust and like act
Okay.
accordingly.
It's still there.
All right.
It's irritating us, please.
Yeah, I think it's good.
You fucking with you.
Look away, crackhead and shit.
Looking like Craig.
What up, Craig?
What, Rhonda?
Look like Smokey and Debo's chicken
So
coop.
okay, so speaking of like shitty like regulars then, right? I gotta ask both of y'all. Have you ever had a Karen? Have you ever had someone that said demanded to speak to your manager, wanted refunds, anything of that sort?
Well, yeah, I've had that happen before, but never because of an interaction that I had.
Yeah.
I've had it happen when I was managing, and a coworker basically called a woman a bitch and didn't know that she was like right there, and she heard him.
You get fired?
Yeah, he got fired for that. he got fired for that. But yeah, I've definitely encountered that. Have you ever had to throw anybody out of a bar?
Not physically, but
I have.
yeah,
A
like
couple times.
So did you do it like in the movies? Like put their arm all up and shit?
Jazzy Jeff they ass.
Bust their head through the door?
Kinda.
Tell us about it, man.
So the first time I
Are
ever
you
had to throw,
qualified for this?
I mean, I became qualified right then and there. Trial by fire, I guess.
Right.
But
That's a good
it
definition.
It was right when I had first started managing at Bunny's, and I was working on it was a holiday week, so like people were in town. The bar was just busier than it normally was.
Yeah.
And Bunny's used to get packed, man. I mean, like you literally be walking past
Yeah,
people
shoulder
like,
to shoulder,
sideways,
man.
like you could not get through the place. And there was this customer who was intoxicated, and he was just fucking with people that were walking around him while he was playing pool tabs,
Right.
And then he was messing with other people that were playing pool tabs. And so I was still managing, right?
Yeah.
And so me and Tommy, shout out Tommy, man.
Hey, Tommy. That's the homie right there.
So me and Tommy approached the guy, and Tommy did all the talking at this time.
Yeah.
Tommy's like, "Hey, man, we've been telling you to stop. This is your last warning. Play your pool tabs. Have a good time. Leave people alone."
And Tommy always kept it, hey, man.
Tommy is the nicest man in the world. He does not want any problems.
Oh,
with anybody.
100%.
And like I said, it was busy that night. We were getting rocked, and then we get called to the bar again through
Yeah.
through the microphone, and it's the same guy. And Tommy said, all right, that's it. You're done. You got to leave. And told him to put down his drink, and we started walking him towards the front door.
Yeah.
And right as we get to the first set of doors, he just kind of stops, just puts the brakes on, and he turns around and he takes a swing at Tommy.
What? Oh, yeah.
Tommy kind of like ducks and hits the deck, you know, and then I just attacked, bro. I came in and I hit him. I kind of did like a football block, like a
get under the pads, yeah, 100%.
And bam, ran him through the first door, and then bam, ran him through the second doors, and just kind of just body slammed him right there in the front of the parking lot. And then we're tussling around, and I somehow got him like on his stomach, and I was putting my knee in his back, you know?
Yeah.
And I had a foot in front of him, and this dude is like trying to bite like my ankle and like my calf.
What?
And so then I just kind of jumped up again and just bam, came down and put the knee on him. And then Tommy came out there, and we just kind of just sat on the guy.
Oh my God.
Until the cops came. It started snowing, so we were just kind of sitting there in our clothes, getting snowed on,
Jeez,
waiting for the cops to come and arrest this guy. But then when the cops finally came, I was so pissed off and I was just soaking wet. I said to the guy, I'm like, you dumbass, now you're going to have to spend the whole weekend in jail. Because, you know, they don't let you out on holiday weekends.
Right,
you're going to be in there till Monday, buddy. Have fun.
Wow, dude. I mean, that's wild hundreds. I mean, it is part of that job. You go from bartender or management to bouncer,
you have
real
to.
quick.
You have to.
What about you, Gene? Have you ever had to physically throw somebody out?
I haven't.
Granted, or the yard house?
Usually verbally throw people out. Get out of here, buddy.
Yeah. I was going to say, give us a sample of that. What does Gene look like?
So I'm not a manager, so it's not my place to kick people out.
Yeah.
But I do cut people off and occasionally grab a manager for assistance and escort people out. That's been about it, man. I'm
pretty cordial about it and stuff. Just keep it real. And if anyone at home or anyone that's listening right now, if you have an awesome story to kind of share with us about you working in the industry and something like that happened to you, please feel free to reach out to us at LUPWGJ, either on Facebook, you know, Instagram, any of our socials.
We
or
also
directly.
have an email, too.
Yep, we do have an email. Hit us up directly at LUPWGJconnect at gmail.com. So it does sound like that the show The Bear is very accurate then. You know what I mean? My wife and I finished it, dude, and like I haven't been in the restaurant industry for a long time, but I mean, I felt that shit, dude. From the intense moments they had, all the way down to when they were sipping on gravy cups filled with water. You know what I mean? Like, I remember that, dude. You just have to sip on that. So
you drink out of anything in the kitchen, though.
Oh my God, yeah, that's true.
So when you work in the kitchen, are you constantly eating shit? Shrimp, chicken wang here, chicken wang there.
Yeah, don't let anybody tell you different. Unless it's a kitchen that's like a fine dining restaurant where the chef is like on you and everything's pre-portioned out.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Absolutely.
No chef.
No chef.
Heard chef.
Yeah.
Then people are always eating. That's what we do in the back of the house. I'm sorry.
And so for both of y'all, like, I gotta ask this and be honest with y'all. Like, have you ever seen anybody that wasn't of color doing like the kitchen or the yard, like the dishes or any of that backyard work?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but
because I always felt like I don't think I've ever seen a white person back there. No. I guess when I worked at Champs, there was a couple, but
yeah. But it's mostly, people of color.
I know there's a lot of discussion around that because, they try to talk about, like, border issues and all that, and they say if they did that, what would they take away? And, like, when you spoke about the backbone of a lot of those workers back there, man, they really make that shit happen. You know what I mean? Like, there's things, they do things that people don't want to do, and they do it great, But
not only that, they take pride in their job. People look at that job as if it's, like, a nothing job, but, like, those people that work in the back of the house that wash dishes and that work in the dish pit, they take that shit seriously, man.
Absolutely, dude.
They really take pride in what they do.
So big shout out to all the workers back there, man. They really make it happen,
Definitely.
man. I mean, a lot of these amazing restaurants y'all see on the cover wouldn't be shit without these people in the back doing their thing. So
you get the pretty servers and you get the good looking bartenders.
Yeah, they ain't back there making that shit.
But they're not the ones that are back there in the kitchen.
Am I a good looking bartender?
Man. Yeah, you're all right.
The bearded bartender.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, if you got rid of those tentacles down there.
Have you ever got mad though and just slapped somebody with them like, pow, get out?
Have you ever dipped them in dishwater, while you're working,
or even worse? Have you accidentally dipped your beard in a drink that you were making for a client or a customer? Like, here you go, man.
I haven't.
Might have a little tang.
Stir that up for you.
My beard is getting to the point where I need to wrap it up.
Oh, yo, wrap that shit up, B. Wrap that shit up, B.
Yeah, like I gotta wrap it up or like tuck it into my shirt. You know what I mean?
Shut up. Are you serious?
I haven't done it yet. But
Oh my God, that's insane,
there's times
bro.
where I'm like digging for ice and my beard's almost touching the ice. You know what I mean?
No,
it doesn't touch.
People gonna have dread hairs in their martini and shit.
So between y'all, then I would have to ask. Then, do you prefer bartending or serving, and why?
You want to go?
So I like bartending personally because at my bar, no kids could sit there.
That's a good point.
And I don't, I have nothing against kids, but
we just don't want to serve them. Though.
I'm with kids all day.
Yeah. Give me a kitty cocktail.
When I get to work, I just want to do what adults.
Yeah.
Talk adult shit. You know what I
So
mean?
you say you've been parent all day, bartender at night.
Sometimes my coworkers like, "Why are you so happy, man?" I think I've been with kids all goddamn day.
Right.
Man,
and that's coming from a real
I
parent
haven't
right
talked
there.
to adults for 3 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally. So I come to
'Cause
work,
you've
I'm
been off
happy
work.
as a lark.
Got you.
For me, it's bartending. Foreman is just serving is just too formal.
Yeah.
I hate having to greet people, introduce myself, give the spiel about anything or about food or the menu.
Yeah.
Bartender is just more like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Right. Just keep it nice and simple.
Yeah, keep
you
it nice
know?
and simple. Keep it
They
light.
know what they need.
Because we're always
Time.
busy too. Sometimes we don't have any time to talk to anybody.
Right.
Those are the nights that I love the most, to be honest. When I have to bop around and then like people can see that you're busy and then they don't expect you to talk to them.
Right.
But, like if you're busy, they're gonna be like, okay, you're not doing nothing. Come over here.
Right.
So post up and talk to me.
Kendall, one thing I wanted to bring up to you was back in the day when I used to bartend, like, it was like on TV. You're cleaning up some shit. You're chopping it up with people.
Right.
Polishing a wine glass.
polishing wine glasses as you're chopping it up with people.
Knowing damn well
But
you ain't using that motherfucker.
Nowadays, like, from my experience, a lot of people are at the bar. They don't even want to talk. Damn, you have a butterfly right here.
Dude, that butterfly's been around you for a minute. I don't know if there's symbolism or what.
It is, man.
But
Well,
nowadays, folks sit at the bar and they don't even really want to talk. They're doing things on their phone,
Yep.
computers.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You like that?
I appreciate that because
That's real.
as much as when I first started doing it, and I got into the restaurant industry, I'm like, damn, I just love talking to people. I love interacting with people. But I was in my 20s then. I'm 41 now, and I'm like,
You don't want to talk to nutchin.
I don't want to. Well, yeah, if you cool and we gotta, like I said, it's all situational circumstance. Like if we vibe,
Right.
and we got something that we can talk about, then yeah, I'm gonna shoot the shit with you.
But have you noticed that? Like nowadays, it's not as much chopping it up being a bartender as it used to be.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's more now, to be
Oh,
honest.
really?
Yeah, I think it's more now because of the media. You'll see something on the news that night, and that's the only thing people are talking about the next day. You know what I mean? And so I feel, people want to openly talk about it. People want to openly talk about politics. People want to openly talk about like the Roe v. Wade thing and like.
So how many minutes are we at?
So right now we're at a good 45, y'all.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you,
Can we do a little something?
Yeah, what we're gonna do?
Let's talk about when we're on the service well.
Okay.
And you're dealing with...
Wait, real quick.
Oh, God.
Explain to our folks, though, what's a service well?
So the service well is when you're making drinks for the whole restaurant.
Okay.
And so it's very stressful.
Is it like a situation, like you don't move from there?
So
then?
that show the bear...
Yeah.
Like when you're on the service well, that's what it's like being a bartender, but in the front of the house.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so you're dealing with a lot of different dramas. You're making drinks. You're dealing with servers asking you dumbass questions.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
What garnish goes in a margarita?
Like, what?
Bitch, a lime goes in every motherfucking margarita. Don't ever ask me that shit again. No, isn't that real talk?
It is.
If I want to make a French 75, how should I ring that in?
Like, well, how did you get this job? How are you doing what you're doing?
Right.
If you don't know how to garnish your drinks. I know you're not a bartender, but like, you should know what garnishes go on the drinks, man. Leave me the hell alone.
So then,
what about the?
So it's stressful, man. You got to deal with this monkey ass shit.
Yeah.
I have a server that works at where I work at, and God bless her heart, because like I said, I don't think she has like any ill intention, but like she's so aloof, bro. Like do, and she's always grabbing tickets. Like I put the tickets out in front of me, you know, as I'm making the tickets.
Don't
and I just
touch my ticket
do not
until
touch
it's done.
my fucking ticket. And I gotta tell her every time, and then she's always like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but I'm like, "No, why do I have to tell you this every shift?
Right.
Just leave the ticket alone."
So y'all got like a system like set up for that, right?
Yeah,
like when
we're
everything's in order, how you're making your drinks.
We're supposed to have a system. It just never really works out like that.
Yeah.
It never works out how you think it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
But she like touches all the tickets, and I'm like, that's not even your. Why are you touching this ticket with 5 drinks on it, and you knew that you only had 2 drinks on your ticket, and that's not even your table? Why are you even touching it?
Yeah.
And then you're moving, and then she also, this is the thing that really just grinds my gears, bro.
Yeah. Right.
It's with they take 1 drink away from the ticket, and then just leave the ticket there, or they'll take 1 drink and then take the ticket, and then you come back with the drink that you thought you needed for that ticket, and then you're just like,
oh, and that can fuck everything up, right?
oh
like,
my god, throw such a
wrench in it.
Yeah,
Monkey
monkey
wrench.
wrench in the thing. Oh my god, I hate it so
So
much.
what do you think's the most annoying part of being on the service well? The servers or making the drinks or?
I mean, it's a combination of the two.
Yeah.
Where I work at now, we have these drinks that you have to use mint and muddle
mint?
Yeah, we use mint and
You gotta muddle them joints?
cucumber.
See, I'm cheap, bro. I just get it and pop an Altoid or some
and
shit.
basil, and we use all these different fruit purees. It's very time consuming, you know.
Yeah.
So if you get what we call Blackberry Mojito Martini,
So bougie shit.
Yeah. Not even bougie, just over the top ways
Right.
to make drinks. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Some of them are good, and some of them are just like, you're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Right. So y'all are saying that being on the service well, you're a bartender, but you're not really the main bartenders, right? You're just making the drinks. You're not serving those around the counters or whatever.
You're not talking to guests.
No,
Okay.
You're just making drinks for
You're only
the
talking
Shut up
to your
and pour the
coworkers.
drinks. Huh?
300 people in the
Shut up and
restaurant.
pour.
God damn.
Shut up and
Wait.
pour, barkeep.
But is that a cool one then? Sometimes where you don't gotta
It depends
talk
on
with
the
folks.
day.
Yeah.
There's certain
Okay.
days where like I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to guests.
Yeah, I want to be in the well.
I want to be in the well. I want to chop it up with servers.
Oh, yeah, for
That's
sure.
how you get to know servers.
Yeah,
on
but
that
then
motherfucking well.
also at the same time, you don't make no money from the servers. So like you said, it has to be a balance of talking to the servers, but then also getting out there and like talking to like your customers.
Right.
'Cause, you know, I'm gonna be honest though. I feel like when I'm interacting with my customers, then like I'm making more money for the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we split our money. Do you guys split money where you work at?
Yeah,
So like we split money. But I feel like if I'm doing more talking and certain people are in the well, then I feel like we're making more money that way.
See, that's where I feel like I did excel at. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I am an animated person, and like I always, anywhere I went, I always got props for that at least. Like,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I would forget a lot of shit to put in. Like my biggest was like putting in the orders and everything. But
Yeah.
when it came to like, especially if I fucked an order up just to stall people, I'd master that. You know what I mean? Like Champs was probably my most challenging there. Shout out to all my peoples over at the Champs. If you're listening or watching right now, Marky Mark, Marjorie, you know, we got Stefan, Sarah, oh my God,
I remember
Ingrid,
Stefan.
you know, like so many good peoples there that worked there. And it probably was my biggest experience within the restaurant because even though Champs was considered, I guess, a sports bar in a certain sense, like, especially Ingrid, who's the general manager at the time, she really was trying to, like, bear that shit. Like, in The Bear, she's really trying to turn this into a fine dining restaurant. And so she was always on point. And we had, I don't know if y'all have that at where you work at now, but we had the one where the glass is, like, you see everything. You know what I mean?
The open kitchen
yeah,
concept,
dude. I don't like that shit at all. Because as soon as I'm like, all right, y'all I'll be right back. I get behind that counter. I'm like, this motherfucker on his 5th gin and tonic and shit. Like, goddamn, motherfucker, wait. Ain't even happy hour yet, you know? But then I look, he's looking right at me and shit. Like, but I used to love serving like that. I used, like, the rushes were crazy, but as long as you just have fun, you accept it that it's a madhouse right now, and you just make the best of that. Exactly. You know what I mean? And yeah.
Like where I work at now, it's not very busy in the early part of the evening, but you know, come 5:30, you know, there's going to be that 2.5, 3 hour point where you just get fisted, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's bartenders and servers that, like, they get all bent out of shape. And I'm like, we notice it's coming every single night,
right,
man.
Absolutely,
like,
dude.
Why? I hate when people aren't consistent with their moods, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, if you're going to be the nice person, be the nice person all the time.
Right.
Not saying you have to be. Everybody has bad days, but
like, don't just be here for the money. You know, be here for the money. But if you don't got the people skills or you can't handle the pressure, what's that saying they say? If you can't handle the pressure, get the fuck out the kitchen.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
The heat. That's what it is.
Yeah, but there's certain people that are still in the industry that are just angry as hell.
Yeah,
and it's like, man, get your angry ass up out of here. You fucking up my vibe. Like,
right. And you could be fucking with your money too, because that toxicity and that, right?
Because
that bad aura.
Customers pick up on that shit. I know I pick up on that shit whenever I go to a restaurant. I'm reading my bartender or my server's vibe all the time, but that's just because I'm in the industry.
We are kind of wrapping a little close, y'all. So there's a couple things I did want to ask y'all before. One. Obviously, year-round, do y'all have like a favorite season that y'all like to serve or bartend during? Like, what's the best season you would choose?
Fall all the way through February.
Fall through February?
I could second that motion.
Yeah. Is that football season then? Or
football season all the way through the holidays, man.
Well, for one thing, in the summer, we have long winters. Yep. So everybody's trying to be outside. So unless you have an outside freaking
like a
bar,
patio and shit, yeah,
it's not as profitable. You know,
and I hate working on the patio anyway, man.
Yeah.
I know you're black ass dude. It's hot as fuck
out there.
Hell
no, man. It's too fucking hot, bro.
Yeah, it's hot as a motherfucker.
Is there anything that, like, with both of y'all's experience, is there anything that if you had the power, say you wanted to open up your own restaurant, what kind of change would you want to bring? Whether it is diversity or different structures of the way that your restaurants are ran, you know, is there any things you do like or flaws that you don't like?
For me, I think if I were to ever have a restaurant, if I ever thought about one, it would be consistency from the front of the house to the back of the house, and like back again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there are so many places where it's just like the servers are all cliquey, and then the bartenders are all cliquey, and then like the kitchen staff is all cliquey, and then like it just don't flow well together. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every person that bartends, serves, should start off in the kitchen, working at the expo and like learning how
put in the work. Gotcha. Okay.
But then also the cooks should get more grace than what they do. Yeah. Or they should get more love than what they do.
Absolutely, dude.
But then
they're the heart of the house.
They are.
Yeah. They are. Why those top chefs are the only ones that always get like customers be like, let me see the chef, you know, and the chef gets to come out like zizi poo poo, like easy. Like they need to show the real people. Oh shit.
No, but yeah, just consistency from the front of the house, like
so, kind of like the Bear, right? Like when they did, they sit down for family stuff. They sit down to eat together of things they make. So you think that's important, that interlocking of just family and working together.
That's the one thing that I loved about Bunny's is that the owner's son, Jason, he calls it the Bunny's Familia. You know what I mean? But like he really means that, because like we all hung out, we all got together along, we got well along together, you know what I mean? And like we were friends, but like we were family too, you know. So I feel like that's an important part of the restaurant aspect. But he has a family owned restaurant, so I feel like that's what makes his restaurant special. as opposed to like chain restaurants.
Yeah. What about you, Gene? Like, if you decide to open up your own spot, like, what would be the important things about it?
First and foremost, I would never open up a restaurant. The bottom line is too thin. You know what I mean? You can't make a lot of money off a restaurant.
Really?
Yeah. Like, most of the money comes from alcohol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, and there's not a lot of, I would never want to own a restaurant.
Hours are long.
If I did, I would make sure it's mandatory that there wasn't favorism, man. I can't stand when you have a manager that clicks with certain people. All of a sudden, certain people are getting like these great hours.
Yeah, they get all the prime shit.
It's not based off of your like who's the best. It's based off of, hey, you're
who's
a better friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I would try to cut from that, man.
Well, being with that said, I know we're getting a little short, but I do gotta ask that, like, when you say like you don't want people to get all the best hours and stuff, have y'all ever walked in and saw like one of your coworkers, will leave unnamed, obviously, and be like, shit, didn't want them to be working this day, like say if it's a big game or something, and you're like, this person clearly should not be here. They're the slowest motherfucker.
Like there's a difference between a bartender and an order taker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you have order takers.
Shots fired.
Yeah, there's order takers. But then there's bartenders. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. There's a huge difference.
I can't stand like when things
They're mechanic.
When things get rough, like things might be said and we might like be mad at the time, but the next day, man, like we're friends, everything's all good.
Get over it.
But when you have an order taker or somebody that's not doing their part, I can't get over that, man.
Yeah.
When you're pulling all the weight for the team.
Yeah, you're pulling all the weight.
I get that too. But then like the order takers, they're also the employees that can't like they don't know how to adapt.
Exactly.
Because once their mode is broken, they just come undone.
Yeah. So adaptation is very important in the restaurant industry.
Being a chameleon, like
exactly
being black in America, we got to be chameleons.
Hey, ain't that the truth?
It's the exact same way in the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So our listeners and viewers at home, I mean, share with us and let us know, like, if you had the opportunity, what would you like to see different? You know, like with COVID now changing everything, I feel like it changed a lot economically, dude. Like, people are really looking at what it means to bring real service, customer service, and stuff like that. So please drop a comment on. Please make sure y'all liking and sharing this video. I've been having a lot of fun here, y'all. This has been a good one.
Dude, it's awesome to have our best friend.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to give a good cheers.
Gentlemen,
wait, I got that short.
Little Tyrannosaurus Rex arm.
I got that strong head.
Before we get off, guys, we're going to do a shot.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, while Gene's pouring those up, we just want to thank everybody again, like always, for watching. Like we said earlier, we are on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify, so make sure y'all go download and follow us on there. Like always, follow us on all of our social media accounts, as well as our YouTube channel. We do appreciate y'all, and make sure you guys are liking, sharing, and doing everything you can to support.
That
let the algorithm do what the algorithm
yeah,
and man, I hope to do future shows with you guys, man. I've been loving watching your
thank you.
Would love to have you be a reoccurring guest.
Yes,
I love that, man.
Thank you for bringing that up. Before we call it, like, Black, you did want to say we kind of want to open up for the next time when we do hang out. It's going to be more. Black's actually going to be cooking us something.
Yes.
Y'all.
Oh, yes, we're going to do an episode where I'm cooking. That'll be fun. Well, actually, we should ask people what would they like me to see cook.
Oh, are you that good?
I can cook anything, bro.
Blackatooey and shit.
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but you know.
So what if they say they want like a kosher cuisine?
Some shit you can't even pronounce.
Kosher cuisine.
Yeah, can you do kosher food?
No, because I need like a rabbi to bless that shit for it to be kosher or something, right?
I mean, I don't know if y'all remember, but remember
the Jewish person.
Mazel tov, my guy. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Let's take it.
All right, well,
like we said, y'all.
Kendall, thank you so much for being on the show.
I love you guys. Thanks for having me
Love
on.
you
I
too,
appreciate
man.
it. It's been a lot of fun, man.
It has.
We just bullshit around, but we have a lot of things to talk to this man about. We're going to watch him cook.
Yeah.
And there's also other things.
And I definitely feel like I leveled up. Like I said, I haven't been in the restaurant industry in a long time, and you guys really kind of, I feel like I leveled up a lot. I feel like a lot of people got a lot of insight. So especially make sure you go out and watch The Bear, streaming on Hulu right now. It's a great show.
Great show.
And even if you need to watch that, pause this and watch that, then come back and like soak it all in. That'd be great, man.
But make sure you come back to watch this episode too.
Abso-fucking-lutely, man.
Yes,
so.
sir.
Thank y'all, man. Thank you so much. Like always, I'm your boy Jay.
I'm Gene. Thank you for leveling up with Gene and Jay, and our special guest Black.
Hey.
Good night.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great one, y'all. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.